What if I told you that winning the resource jackpot could actually make you poorer? It sounds completely backward, right? But stick with me because we're about to dive into one of the most counterintuitive ideas in economics. And it all starts with a giant, icy island near the North Pole, Greenland. Greenland isn't just ice and snow. Beneath its frozen surface lies an almost unimaginable treasure, an estimated 38 million tons of rare earth oxides. These aren't just obscure elements on the periodic table. They are the lifeblood of our modern world. They are essential for everything from the electric vehicles we drive and the smartphones in our pockets to advanced defense systems like missile guidance and the semiconductors that power our entire digital economy. Given that China currently dominates over 90% of the global rare earth supply, the strategic importance of Greenland is massive. For a country like the United States, gaining access to this colossal reserve seems like a checkmate move in the great game of global resources. Imagine securing a stable, friendly supply chain for the most critical materials of the 21st century. On paper, acquiring or heavily investing in Greenland's resources looks like an absolute no-brainer, a strategic masterstroke that would secure technological and military dominance for decades to come. But history whispers a cautionary tale. It tells us that what looks like a golden ticket can sometimes be a curse in disguise. This is where we encounter a fascinating economic phenomenon known as Dutch disease. The term was coined in the 1970s after the Netherlands discovered vast natural gas fields in the North Sea. You'd think this would be a massive boom for the Dutch economy, and in the short term, it was. Money poured into the country. But then something strange started to happen. The Dutch currency, the guilder, began to appreciate significantly, becoming stronger and stronger against other currencies. Now, a strong currency sounds great, doesn't it? It means your money can buy more from other countries. But for a nation that exports goods, it's a killer. Suddenly, all the other things the Netherlands produced, tulips, cheese, high-tech machinery, became much more expensive for the rest of the world to buy. Their exports plummeted. At the same time, the flood of gas money into the economy pulled workers and investment away from manufacturing and into the booming energy sector. The result? The Netherlands' non-gas export industries withered and collapsed. The resource boom had paradoxically hollowed out their traditional economic base. This isn't an isolated incident. We've seen this pattern repeat itself all over the world. Oil-rich nations in the Middle East and Latin America often struggle with underdeveloped manufacturing sectors. Nigeria, despite its immense oil wealth, has seen its agricultural and manufacturing industries decline. Even parts of Canada and Australia have experienced symptoms of Dutch disease when commodity prices soar. The sudden influx of wealth from one sector effectively poisons the others. So let's bring this back to Greenland and the United States. Let's say the US makes a massive move, a strategic partnership, a huge investment, whatever it takes to unlock those 38 million tons of rare earths. A torrent of resource wealth valued in the trillions of dollars would start flowing into the US economy. What happens next? The US dollar would likely skyrocket in value, maybe by 10-15% or even more. For American tourists heading to Europe or Japan, that's fantastic news. Everything's on sale. But for American manufacturers, it's a nightmare. A car made in Detroit, a piece of machinery from Ohio, or software developed in California suddenly becomes 15% more expensive for foreign buyers. Our exports would become uncompetitive on the global market. Simultaneously, the massive, lucrative rare earth industry would act like a giant economic magnet, pulling capital, engineers, and skilled labor away from other sectors. Why invest in a struggling factory in Pennsylvania when you can get a much higher return from a Greenlandic mine? The very manufacturing hubs that are the backbone of the American heartland would be starved of the investment and talent they need to survive, let alone innovate and grow. This is the strategic paradox. The very act of winning the resource war could trigger a process that hollows out our own domestic industry. We might secure our supply of rare earths, but at what cost? We could weaken our overall export competitiveness and accelerate the very deindustrialization that policymakers have been trying to reverse for years. We'd be trading a diverse, resilient economy for one dangerously dependent on a single volatile commodity sector. The irony is staggering. A move intended to strengthen national security and economic independence could achieve the exact opposite, leaving the economy more vulnerable and less diversified. It highlights a profound truth. Sometimes the most dangerous resource isn't scarcity, but a sudden, overwhelming abundance. It forces us to think beyond the immediate win and consider the complex, often hidden consequences of our actions. The story of Greenland isn't just about an island of ice. It's a powerful lesson in the delicate balance of a modern economy. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this look into the paradoxes of economics interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video.